Geekazine's special coverage of HP Discover 2011 is brought to you by Iolo System Mechanic. Go over and use the code Geekazine for up to 50% off System Mechanic 10. And Wirecast. Produce all your video straight from your computer right to the internet with Wirecast. Go over to geekazine.com and click on the link. Of course, Geekazine is a proud member of the Tech Podcast Network. Over at techpodcast.com. If it's tech, then it's here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, continuing coverage of HP Discover. Jeffrey Powers with Geekazine and the Tech Podcast Network. We're here with Lee Johns, who's over at the end, and we got Chris Evans, one of the bloggers, who asked, "Can I get up here and do one of these interviews?" And it's like, hey, that's not a problem. Let's go for it. So what we're going to be talking about is storage, and I'll let Chris do the rest of the interview at this point.
Thank you, Jeffrey. So we're going to talk about Converged storage, and I believe, Lee, that you've got a new job title and a new position.
Yeah, I'm the director of Converged storage, and we introduced Converged storage at this show.
Yep.
So really, the goal is to help people understand the benefits of Converged storage going forward, why that's different than current architectures, and of course work on what it is that we're going to be delivering, not just at this show, but over the next months and years that are going to go form these new areas of storage.
So why don't you start by telling us what you mean by Converged storage?
Yeah, so Converged storage is really a subset of our converged infrastructure strategy.
Right.
It's founded on leveraging technology across all of HP to deliver simpler solutions to customers. And at its foundation, it starts with common hardware platforms, common architectures, with our storage software layers that we've sort of acquired becoming more and more consistent on there. Scalable technology so that you can grow and easily scale the technology in your environment. And then also common management layers on top. But it goes beyond simply storage in that in getting to that kind of commonality, what it allows us to do is to deliver new solutions like you're seeing with the HP virtual system, cloud system, app system, and do that in a way that provides a much more seamless experience for customers who are buying those solutions because the technology is common.
Okay, so when you say the technologies you've acquired recently, can you pick out the main ones and just
the main technologies that form the Converged storage family are really the left-hand scalable SAN, the iBricks scalable NAS, our store once deduplication and backup technology, which came out of HP Labs, and then also the 3PAR technologies as well.
So if we look at all of those, then I believe you're putting them into two categories. Is it a virtual category and
there's really two ways that we sort of think about bringing the technology together. At one level, it's bringing it together at a data center level for a customer. The customer wants to manage his data center, IT as a service. He's looking at large scalable solutions, and there we call it Converged utility storage. He's really managing at a level of something like the HP Cloud System Matrix. He's going to be managing IT as a service, and underlying that, the types of storage technologies that he's using are going to be 3PAR, our X9000 based on iBricks, where they're able to scale up to very large capacities, iBricks for instance to 16 petabytes. And then we have the convergence, maybe more focused at individual areas of optimization within IT, which is we call Converged Virtual. And there the technologies are really the left-hand, the store once technology, and also the iBricks technology does come into that as well as we scale that sort of down. Okay, so from those products, I know that you can get them in a number of flavors. So I believe you can get them on the standard platform. There are some that you're doing as virtual appliances. And there are some that I think can be deployed as blades as well. Sure, so the real power of the Converged virtual space is that it is truly standardized on the technologies that we're building across the company, leveraged from our ProLiant and Blade system DNA. So you have multiple form factors that you can run that on. It can be on a standard ProLiant, which could be a a tower or a rack mount. It can be in our blade system infrastructures where we're integrating things into a common backplane, common power and cooling infrastructure with the networking built in. And it can also, because they are standardized, run on top of a virtual machine. An example of that is that we have the virtual SAN appliance for the P4000 today, but we're committed to making that concept available across the portfolio of converged storage platforms.
So if you take that virtual appliance, does that mean then you get the same level of support and everything else that goes with it? Is it a fully supported appliance at this stage, or is it?
Yeah, the virtual SAN appliance from HP differs from some that you find from other vendors where they've put out a virtualization version of their platform, which is really used for people to just take a look at the platform and maybe play around with it.
Right.
We have a fully supported for sale solution, and we have had for 4 years.
Okay.
And it's certified on both the VMware and the Microsoft certification lists as a fully supported SAN in those environments. So you can do real-world work with that technology. And the benefit, of course, is now you can leverage whatever server technology you happen to have, maybe in a remote site, and without having to acquire hardware to run an HA SAN at that site, you can set up a very highly available virtualized server and storage environment. So it's very powerful technology that we find that customers who use that technology really broaden their view of where they're going to place SAN technology. They're not just thinking about putting it at their head office. They're now thinking about how do I integrate my remote sites into a single architecture.
So one of the things that I picked up on today, it's been mentioned a few times in the last couple of days, and I'm not sure whether I get the name right. It's either Store or Storage 360.
Yeah.
Now, this is something that's part of the message around converged storage, I believe.
One of the things that is really going to make a difference in the future. And bear in mind, we're introducing converged storage here today, and we've got products out there that drive in certain storage areas with the left-hand technologies and iBricks. But where we're looking at bringing together those technologies for a customer, we're really looking at trying to make sure that everything becomes much more standardized. And the Store 360 architecture is talking about how we can take a left-hand software stack, a Store Once software stack, and an iBrick software stack, and put all of those onto a common operating system and platform. Now, the advantages of that aren't immediate for a customer. The advantages are it's an easier development platform and test platform for HP.
So there's some positive benefits for HP.
Positive benefits for HP. Yeah. The long-term impact from a customer standpoint is that we're better able to co-locate technologies. When we develop our, say, NFS stack on top of an iBricks platform, we can then use that same NFS stack on top of other platforms.
You can port it to another platform,
and it's very easy for us to be able to do that.
So there's a technology and software reuse within there that
allows
you to be faster to the
and ultimately
market.
For a customer, that will result in future technologies where they're able to get much more commonality, much more integration, get this true converged storage experience where it's much more integrated with the server stack as well. So Store 360 is the architectural strategy that gets us to an even more integrated solution.
And will that apply to 3PAR as well?
So 3PAR today is slightly different in that 3PAR is not yet running on top of Proliant or
because you have dedicated ASICs in that
dedicated
hardware,
ASIC
quite a few
in there,
differences.
but I think that's a minor issue, frankly, in the sense that ASICs run in industry standard servers all the time. They sit on riser cards and
so you just you just find some solution for that.
But ultimately, the architecture of the 3PAR platform, the mesh active, clustered structure of it, the fact that we've only really recently acquired it, means that we will certainly drive towards more commonality, and look at how we get to a more standardized underlying operating system environment and do that over time. But it's not in quite the same space today as those other three technologies, which have been part of HP for at least 2 years. 3PAR, it's been more like 9 months.
Okay. So is there anywhere that customers can go to look for this sort of information to find out more details about this?
Sure,
this new
yeah, on
Converged
the HP website, of course.
Okay.
And if you go drill down on storage there, you'll find a lot of information now on Converged storage.
Right.
We introduced it on Monday, and you'll be able to.
And I've seen it a number of times in presentations. Yep. So
yeah,
it's
absolutely.
It's definitely a big message.
Yeah.
So great. Thanks very much for your time, and I'll hand you back to Jeffrey.
Thanks.
All right. Well, that was basically about converged storage. Whether you've got a solution where you need where you need for your building, where you need for your architecture across the state or across the nation or world, you can set up a great storage network for there. Thank you very much, Lee. Thank you very much, Chris, for conducting it. You are on HP Discover. We still got a whole ton of interviews, so stick around, sit on your couch, sit in front of your computer. We've got more great stuff on HP Discover. Jeffrey Powers with Geekazine. And did you say your website there, Chris?
I didn't know. It's www.thestoragearchitect.com.
StorageArchitect.com.
You can find me on Twitter as Storageologist.
Storageologist. I like that one. So,
all right. I have an ology. I don't like to admit it normally.
All right, with HP Discover, we've got more, so stick around. We will be right back. Geekazine's special coverage of HP Discover 2011 is brought to you by Iolo System Mechanic. Go over and use the code Geekazine for up to 50% off System Mechanic 10. And Wirecast. Produce all your video straight from your computer right to the internet with Wirecast. Go over to Geekazine.com and click on the link. Of course, Geekazine is a proud member of the Tech Podcast Network over at techpodcast.com. If it's tech, then it's here.